If you're like most people, you probably let your eyes glaze over when you come to a biblical genealogy. Fundy atheists already have their brains glazed over, which is why when they read one of these, they come up with nonsense like this.
Yeah, see this one? This is an excellent example when dealing with an inerrantist. If Exodus 6 is right, then the Israelites' sojourn in Egypt could have lasted no more than 352 years, and probably much less than that, because that's the longest lifespan you could get out of that few generations of people.
Yeah, true if that list were complete. What if it isn't?
Oh sure, that excuse. But I think that except to save inerrancy.
Well, how about that it was actually normal for genealogies to have gaps in them? Yeah, see, that's something they don't want to hear. But the bad news for fundy atheists is that history and culture is vastly on our side. It's helpful to issue a reminder here about the provincialism of the sort perpetrated by the typical fundy atheist, who is apt to describe research into genealogies as tedious and even outright boring. The Bible was written for people in its own time using their own conventions of history and reportage. The message was designed and reported for an oral culture, in which less than 10% of the population could read. We therefore have to reckon with the consideration, what was the purpose of genealogies in the ancient world? How did they function? And in this context, did they ever have gaps in them, and why? So getting back to our example, in cultural context there's no reason not to suppose, and every reason to suppose, that Exodus 6 offers a telescoped genealogy, and it's the burden of the critic to explain why it is not telescoped. The exact way it was shortened can be discussed in terms of multiple options. For the present, it's enough to know that the inability to stretch those generations to cover the whole Exodus, it just isn't a problem. Oh, as for you, I have a little surprise to make you feel better. I went on to Ancestry.com and dug out your genealogy.
Oh yeah? Hey, thanks. Let me look at it. I'm sorry I asked.